Yo, what's going on, guys? Straight back again here, bringing another video. Just wanted to do addendum to my review for Diaz versus Condit. Nick Diaz has said pretty much that he wants to retire, but I mean, he didn't really say that. Here, let me give you the quote exactly. He said, "I don't need this shit anymore. Basically, I'm done with MMA. It's been great out here. I've had a good career. You guys pay quite a bit, but." I mean, it's kind of BS. What he said was pretty much that he felt like he pushed Condit back the whole time, like he stalked him down, and he's not going to accept this as a loss. And so, my thoughts on that are, I can completely understand where Diaz is coming from in this situation because, it was even though the referee, I forget who was it Mazzagatti or one of those guys. The referee said at the end of the fight, great fight, guys, yada, yada, before they went to announce the decision. But was it a great fight? It wasn't a great fight. In my opinion, this was a horrible fight, really. I mean, when you look at it, you got Diaz he comes to fight. He's walking towards his opponent. I mean, it's one thing to back up every once in a while and then come back in, come out, come in, come out, come in. But, that's not exactly what Carlos was doing. I can understand Diaz's perspective in this fight that he was walking him down the whole time, like coming to fight. And Carlos he was always moving back especially the first 3 rounds. The fourth round, Carlos started to move up a little bit and start to throw and actually fight. But for the first 3 rounds, he wasn't doing that, especially in the first round. If you guys watch the first round again, you'll see that Carlos was throwing a lot of leg kicks, but they weren't full-fledged, like powerful kicks. These were just slap kicks that, what are they going to do to a guy? They're not going to do anything. They're throwing off his lead leg, okay, not his back leg, so there's no power in his torso turning or his waist turning to, dig in and put a powerful roundhouse kick into his legs or anything like that. He did throw a couple of those later on, but majority of what Carlos was doing was running away from Diaz, throwing sloppy little, tap kicks with his front leg, throwing almost no hands, missing quite a few, throwing some unorthodox spinning back fists and stuff that were all air for the first 3 rounds. I mean, he didn't really do much of anything but run away. Once Diaz got him up against the cage, he did a good job of getting out of there. But then did he come around and, stay there? No. Then he started moving back again. Then when they got to the other side of the cage, he did the same thing, around again and run back to the other side. So, I can understand why Diaz is frustrated and he feels like he doesn't accept it as a loss. And it's not really, and I hear what he's saying and I understand the way he looks at it because, he didn't really lose, like he didn't get beaten up, you know what I mean? He didn't lose the fight. He didn't get his ass kicked or anything like that. He just lost a decision victory. And I mean, the thing about it is too, is that the judges, they gave it to Carlos because of the the volume of strikes that he landed. Pretty much, that's it. But the thing you got to consider is that so many of those strikes were, like I said, strikes that are not doing any damage. I mean, any damage at all. Like those slap kicks, those front leg, slap kicks, those didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, and you could see in the second round, Diaz was getting really pissed, and that's why he started talking trash to him and, tried to slap him a few times and stuff like that because he's like, I'm coming here to fight. This is supposed to be a fight. What are you doing? You're not fighting. And unless you can't have a fight with, one person, you got to have 2 people to have a fight. Otherwise, it's just one person attacking another person. He's just running away the whole time. So, and people have said that about Machida for a long time, but this wasn't really like Machida because, yeah, Machida does back up a lot and do that kind of stuff, but when he comes in, he does damage. He throws that right straight to the face when guys throw kicks and stuff like that as a counter. He throws his patented knee to the body, like he threw against Cito Ortiz and downed him from it. Machida does a lot of the same thing, but he lands more. Carlos, I didn't get that. You know what I mean? Most of the time, most of the fight, the first 3 rounds especially. The 4th round he did good, but the first 3 rounds and some of the 5th round he was just backing up the whole time. And then once he got to the end of the cage, just turning around and going around and then backing up the other way. So I mean I can completely understand Diaz's perspective and. Due to the rule for or the scoring point Octagon control, it's possible they could have given the fight to Diaz. They really could have, if you think about it. Because even though Carlos did land more strikes, like I said, a lot of them were not doing any damage at all. They could have scored the fight in Diaz's favor. They really could have, if they wanted to. See, and that's the problem there, is that it's a gray area, isn't it? Because you got one guy who's not really fighting. He's fighting to win a decision. So he's throwing these useless slap kicks and touches just to touch the guy to score on the scoreboard, right? Isn't he? I mean, what are those front leg kicks going to do? I think Rogan or Goldberg say, "Oh, those are going to slow him down." That's not going to slow him down. Those little tap kicks. That's not going to do anything. You're not digging it in. You're not throwing with with the intention of really doing damage. You're just kind of touching. You know what I mean? You're just touching for points. That's what it is. You're touching for points. And then you're backing up the whole fight. So, I mean, sometimes, like, I wish, they would they teach these guys a lesson, you know what I mean? And based on Octagon control, give it to guys like Diaz who are walking forward the whole fight. We saw this in a fight that I actually went to see in person in Detroit. And it was Rampage against Machida. And I was there in person. And on camera, you don't see it as much. But when you're there in person, believe me, when you watch it in the cage, it's just like the one guy's walking forward the whole time, the other guy's just running away. It is so frustrating. It's like, man, this is fighting, not, like, I don't know. It's just it's one of those types of situations where it's a gray area. However you want to look at it, you wouldn't be wrong. If you say, well, Carlos did win the fight because he landed more shots, I can't disagree with you. You're right. You're not wrong. But at the same time, I can see Nick's perspective that this guy's not fighting. He's not really fighting. You know what I mean? When I come up to him and I'm hitting him with shots, or I come in, he's throwing this garbage crap at me that's not doing anything to me, or he's just backing up, basically, and then once in a while he'll throw a punch and this kind of stuff, but it's not really doing much, and he's always backing up. He's not backing up and then coming forward hard, with a barrage like Vitor Belfort when he'll come in and blitz the guy. He's not doing that. He's just kind of backing up to the cage, backing up again, throwing slap kicks to the thigh or to the knee, or little push kicks and stuff like that. That it's not doing anything. It's not going to end the fight. Here's the question I have for anybody who doesn't have a problem with guys doing that is, what is the intention of those kicks? What is the intention of those strikes? Is it to finish the fight? No. Is it to injure the other guy? No. That's not the intention of those shots. So, yeah, I guess they count if you want to score them, because it is a landed shot, but it's not. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's not going to do anything. When Mauricio Shogun Rua throws leg kicks, okay, those are the type of leg kicks that can finish the fight. Those can cripple a guy. So those will disrupt your movement. Okay, not little tap kicks on the front leg like that, especially in the first round. I mean, that's not going to do anything. So, like I was saying, I can completely understand Diaz's perspective, and this fight isn't clear on who really won the fight. They could have called it a draw. They could have given it to Carlos because he landed, more strikes, even though the majority of those strikes were crap. Or they could have given it to Diaz because, well, Carlos was running away the whole damn fight and didn't actually come to fight. He came to win a decision. And I can completely understand when Diaz says that, he doesn't feel like he lost. He's not going to accept it as a loss, because it's not really like a loss. He didn't really lose a fight. He didn't really get beaten up. You know what I mean? He lost a decision due to a guy that came to fight to win a decision. Carlos came in there with the game plan that he wasn't really going to actually fight, or at least not try to, finish the fight, but to win a decision by, doing that stuff. So, a weird situation, and even though Carlos won the fight, I tend to think that he kind of loses, too, at the same time. And what I mean by that is just that, yes, he did win the fight, but career-wise and from a fan perspective, that's not what we want to see. We want to see guys like Rampage. We want to see guys that are going to come and they're going to throw, or guys like John Jones. If you're going to back up against Rampage and you're going to be careful, you better at some point go in there and try to finish that fight. You better at some point go after the guy and put some actual heat on him. You better not throw this crap that's not going to finish the fight, that's not going to hurt the guy, it's not going to injure the guy. You know, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, that's as much as I'll say about that. Now on to the topic of what I think Diaz is going to do. So I'll make a prediction. I just think Diaz is super pissed off. And like I said, I can completely understand that. I can completely, feel, for him and how pissed off he is because of that. Because, like he said, he didn't really lose the fight. And I understand that. I mean, he didn't get his ass kicked, that's for sure. And it wasn't much of a fight. That's the problem, is that it was, it was very lackluster due to Carlos not wanting to actually throw, and engage. He just wanted to kind of score points and run away. So it's, yeah, I mean, but I don't think that Diaz is going to retire. I don't think he's going to stop fighting. I just think he's super pissed off at the moment. He's still one of the best in the world, and this doesn't hurt his place as the #1 contender. Can I really say that Carlos Condit is a better fighter than Nick Diaz? I can't say that, not after a fight like this. If he finished him, if he landed a high kick or a spinning back fist, and he knocked Diaz out after kicking his ass for a while, you can say that. You can say he's a better fighter than Diaz. But can you say it right now just because he had a game plan to win a decision and score points off of garbage, and he did it? No, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like he's a better fighter than Diaz. So it's it's a tough situation. I think Diaz will be back. I think that he'll still be in title contention. I don't think this hurts Diaz's place at all because you know what? He came to fight. He came to throw down. Carlos did not. It's not his fault that the fight ended up shit. He came on every time he came in. Walked forward, walked forward, walked forward. Diaz doesn't have the fastest feet in the world to be, Lyoto Machiting against guys and leaping in and going after him or blitzing them like Vitor Belfort. That's not how he fights, He fights on the pretense that the other guy wants to fight too. It isn't going to just come in, come out, come in, come out, and then be moving back the whole time, come around the other side, do the same thing again, and do that for the whole fight until maybe the 4th round, and then start to fight a little bit, but then back off again. So that's the video for now, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and how you what you think about that concept. That really you could have given the fight. The fight could have gone any way. Maybe the best decision in this situation to stop this kind of crap from happening is if guys are going to do that kind of stuff. Make it a draw. I mean, can you really say that Carlos Condit beat Nick Diaz tonight? I mean, can you? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about it. Definitely feel for Diaz, and I think that we'll still see Diaz versus GSP at some point. I think we will. I think after Carlos faces GSP and hopefully loses, I think that maybe Diaz will have one more fight at that weight, and then maybe face GSP. I think it'd be good. I don't want to see him fight Carlos again and have this kind of fight happen again. I hate watching these kinds of fights where a guy just refuses to fight. That's it for now, guys. We'll see you for the next one later. Peace.